Hi there guys, I'm Chris Bowden and you're not. I'm here today with Moose, who is the executive director of the Geek Group.
Hi everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
You're on camera now.
I am. It doesn't happen often.
You haven't, you do the CNC videos, that's your thing.
It is.
But you're a camera person and you're a Sony camera person. So
I am. I'm a very dedicated Sony camera person.
I had to invite you for this because it's our first Sony camera.
I'm very proud of you.
That I finally bought a big boy camera?
Yes.
Okay. So we figured we'd shoot an unboxing of this. We're upgrading to larger cameras. This is going to be our new field camera because we need something that can shoot after dark. Would really be an awesome thing. So we went to B&H. We saved up for a long time. And we bought a very expensive camera. This is, as cameras go, this isn't bad. It's like $4 grand.
Yeah, it's a reasonable price.
Well, next week it'll be down to, $2,500, but right now it's $4 grand, so yeah. And this is what we got. We got a Sony HXR-NX5U camera. This is the NX Cam series.
Yes.
Now you've been using your camera, you do still photography.
Yes.
And you've been using Sony for as long as I've known you.
I've been using Sony cameras since 1999.
Okay, and this is my first. Now, full disclosure, Sony is not a sponsor in any way. We paid for this with our own money. This was not paid for with member donations or with foundation support. I actually saved up and bought this camera. So for this, I take full responsibility. If it's like horrible, this is my fault. This isn't a sponsor. Sony isn't a sponsor, but they should be. We'd really like it if they were. So we got this from B&H, just the camera because that's all I could afford in the first thing. We don't even have memory cards for it yet. We have to save up and get those. But we're going to be getting more for this, like the flash drive thing and all that. And we'll do videos on those as things arrive, but we're poor, so step at a time. Now I'm going to stand up and we'll take a look in here. Now it comes with this, which is a vast video of like everything you need to know about your Sony camcorder, so that's cool. And now we get to do the actual unboxing.
That's the exciting part.
Yeah, this is what everybody wants to see. They're like, I don't care, open the box, open the box! All right, now we have, oh, that's microphone, all right. Content management utility.
Now, if it's anything like all the other Sony cameras I've had, you do want to install this, it's important.
Now, I know with your camera there's software and stuff where you can do time-lapse and things like that. Will this camera do that?
I don't know.
Okay.
But
I bet if we watch inside the Sony X-Cam,
they'll probably tell you all about it.
So here's our microphone. That's the very first thing you come across. And it appears to be decent. It's Sony. They know a thing or two about microphones. They've been doing this for a while. It's probably actually made by AKG or something like that. So WAD-O cables, nothing terribly exciting there. And
that looks like a battery charger? I don't
know if it's I think this isn't a charger. I think this is a power feed into the camera.
Oh, so you can run the camera off of wall power.
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't know. It might be a charger.
No, that looks like a powering unit.
It's got a funny plug, so I don't know. We'll see. Actually, I think you put this on the charger and you can run the camera off wall power off the charger. I could be wrong. We'll see.
I'll take the paperwork.
Okay, there's the paperwork. You're going to file the warranty stuff. That's the charger. Oh yes, that is indeed the charger. And there's a VCR camera mode and a charge mode. So
which is how every other Sony charger works.
So I'm guessing you would put this on there and power the camera off that when you want to. Which kind of sucks because I like being able to charge a battery. Like with our JVCs, we can charge the battery on the camera, which is pretty handy. Okay, we have a little tiny thing, which is a shoe adapter. Yeah.
See, that is something with Sony cameras. The shoes are different.
Yeah, the Sony hot shoe is notorious.
Hey, that looks exactly like mine.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, cool. They're probably interchangeable, which is really handy because now we'll be on a shoot somewhere and you'll like hit your remote and bork our camera. I can totally see that one coming.
I have mine set to a channel.
Okay. So here's our battery, which is hefty. It's bigger than the other ones.
It's a big battery.
Bigger than the JVC. I've got a mic foam and a silicone eye cup, which is really big. Wow, that's an eye cup from somebody who knows a thing or two about making cameras.
That is one thing I do like about Sony is they know how to make the camera comfortable.
And then we've got the sarcophagus, which we don't need. Okay, now we're down into expensive looking stuff. Is there anything else? Wow, that's heavy.
I think that's it.
Okay, do a quick check and I'll unmummify this. It's surprisingly heavy for its size. Like it has a heft to it. Moose, I think that's heavier than Eleanor. Like just the naked camera here.
I'm sure it is
For
bigger.
those that don't know, Eleanor is Moose's Sony camera. All right, let's have a seat and take a look at what we've got. Initial first glance. Now here, you start talking about anything you know on here, like similarities to yours, and I'm going to start putting things together. So
Well,
we can
it's
at
set
least
up
get it
completely
dressed.
different because you have a video camera and I do not.
Oh, yeah.
But it's got all the familiar buttons.
The question I wanted to answer,
Yes.
because it's the question I've had for weeks while waiting for this, waiting to be able to afford it, was I know it's got card slots back here for
Oh,
SD
right.
and Pro Duo,
Dual memory.
but are they the same slot? Okay, there's only, if you look on the back, actually I'll let Corey zoom way in. Look right here. There's 2 slots. And you got those? Now I think these slots fit both SD and Pro Duo. I think it only has 2 memory slots and you can put one or the other in there. So that's my theory.
It kind of looks like the left side is taller than the right side of it.
Yeah, take a look.
Yeah, the thicker part is definitely the Sony memory. That's what that looks like.
Okay. Yep. So you cannot put 2 different kinds of memory in. It doesn't have 4 slots. It only has 2. So I'm gonna pop a little rubber mount. Ah, nice little snap thing. I like the JVC mic mount better.
The rings on this are very smooth.
I don't know who makes Sony microphones. It might be Sony. But I've always had really good luck with them. So, like going back to mini disc and stuff like that, I've always had excellent luck with Sony mics. Now, I know there are 2, there's a hot shoe and a cold shoe on this, at least from what I've read.
That's what I've been told.
There's a shoe up there. I have another shoe in my hand, which I'm guessing is a cold shoe, and it's got to go there.
Yeah.
All right. But I've also got, I'm going to zoom this way in so people can get a look here. I've got back here on that second shoe, there's a 1/4-20 slot.
Yeah.
So could that be for mounting the camera low, like for a? Because
I
you've
don't know
got
what
you've got your 1/4-20. Huh?
I don't know what that's for.
What is it?
That is for, well, at least what I've seen used for is big monitors that hang off the side.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
if
this.
you're doing a studio shoot like this, you could hang a monitor off of the camera right
Oh,
there.
okay. Well, this has a the fold-out viewfinder there, which this is supposedly a touchscreen. We'll be charging this and powering it up later and checking it all out, but wow, I'm looking forward to doing a real review on this.
It has a lot
Lots
of buttons.
of buttons and fun and happy and ooh.
Now, one of the big selling points for me on this camera was that it had 3 different neutral density filters built in.
Yeah, we're used to only having one.
Yeah, and that's a big deal.
This is definitely going to take our video up a notch. And we're going to be doing work with this on the Steadicam. We're going to be setting our Steadicam up specifically for this. This camera is going to start out as our field camera. We're going to be using the JVCs in the studio where they do really, really well. We get, like the image you're looking at right now is coming off one of our JVCs. And we love our HM100Us. They've been really good to us. We've beat the hell out of them, and they're good cameras. But because they only have a 1/4-inch sensor, we have trouble with low light environments. So we're doing more and more outdoor video, and we're doing a lot more urban exploration videos. So we needed to get a real camera at the level of our JVCs or better that could handle low light work. So we had to go up in image sensor size, and this has a 1/3-inch image sensor.
And it has an aperture of 1.6.
Okay, so what does teach people, what does that mean?
The simple explanation is the lower the aperture number is, the faster you can shoot, and therefore the less amount of light you need in order to shoot.
Okay.
A generic lens you'll find is generally somewhere between 3 and 5.
Okay.
So being able to drop down to 1.6 means that you can shoot in a much darker environment. You get to pick less of the frame and focus, But those kids call that artistic these days.
Is that the really shallow depth of field that people keep touting for?
Yes.
Okay. Because there's a big market for that kind of thing with the kids.
It is.
Yeah, if you do that, the screws drop right out. How do you like that? I feel pretty smooth. You got both of them?
You dropped 2?
No, the other one's on the table.
Okay.
So I was going to install the shoe.
Install it before you lose it.
Yeah. Now I'm wondering, should the shoe point forward or backwards? I'm actually...
Does it have an arrow?
It has an arrow.
You point, the arrow always goes to the front of the camera.
Okay. The little screws pop right out pretty impressively.
Now you can get an adapter pretty easily to fit the Sony shoe into the shoe that the rest of the universe uses.
Okay, well, it says it uses a Sony hot shoe.
Yes.
And if there is a hot shoe, it's got to be the front one because the back one's obviously a cold shoe.
Yeah, this is definitely a hot shoe.
Okay, but it doesn't look like yours. And your camera, I know, would have a Sony hot shoe.
Yep.
Now, my hot shoe doesn't look like your hot shoe.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's different. You've got the little fingers inside and stuff, right?
Well, this has a metal plate instead of fingers.
This is messing with me. I tried to put on where the arrow would point forward.
It won't work?
It doesn't want to go on there. There's a little pin on the bottom, an indexing pin. Yeah, there's actually 2 indexing pins, and it wants to go backwards.
Okay.
And that makes sense, because that's why I originally was putting it on backwards, because you've got this in the way, so you wouldn't be able to slide things in. But you put in like that, and it just lines right up, so that's how it wants to go. Now understand, this is an absolute initial look at this camera. I've never seen one before. I've never held one in my hands. I didn't go to the local photography store and futz with one. We
They don't
researched
carry
it.
them at the local
Yeah,
photography store.
we researched these online, and we did, about a month of research
Yeah.
or so. And Corey was in on it, and you were in on it, and we did a lot of really heavy research as, okay, what is the best camera for us, for our particular use? And we came to the conclusion that this was it. There it is, way up there. And this is a camera we bought. So I have no idea. I've read a lot of reviews. I've seen a lot of videos shot on it. I like it so far. But I'm really looking forward to getting the batteries charged up and taking this thing out in the field and really putting it through its paces.
Well, my experience so far is Sony is extremely consistent.
Well, they're Sony. They've been doing this for 1,000 years.
They
So.
have. I've had a few other camera companies that have one really, really awesome model, and then the next 4 are terrible. And that's not something I've experienced with Sony.
Okay. Well, Sony's got some weird stuff out, especially right now, where they've got like the one with the E-mount lenses. Like
Yeah.
it's a consumer grade camera, but it has, you can use like film camera lenses on it, and that's a big selling point. But it shoots an interlaced video, which is why I didn't buy one. Yeah, that would go on this side of your head. I had to think about it first. I'm like, okay, well, if you hold the camera like that, and it's going to go, so it's going to wrap. Okay, it's got. I want to buy a couple of these and just like super glue them to Corey while he's asleep. I think that'd be kind of fun. I think this could be a good look for you. Yeah, it could work. A little Batman mojo. All right, I'm going to put the eye condom on it. Now, I broke my own rule on this one because I was impatient and was like, okay, it'll get by a week. We're going to go probably today and hit the local camera store and buy one. But one of the things that is a really big deal in my world, when you first buy the camera, how do you pop off? Well, that's just a holder. Okay, there'll be a release somewhere. When you first buy a new camera, one of the very first things to do is to get a UV filter and put it on there to protect your actual glass. And this is a really nice Sony G series lens. And I don't know why I keep turning these. They're software actuated because I'm not actually, I can turn that forever and nothing's going to happen until I turn the camera on. But get a UV filter to protect your lens.
It is the most important thing you can do.
Yeah, it's like $30 for one.
Well, for this one, it's going to be more expensive.
No, for this one, it's $30. It'd be an age.
Oh,
So,
well, it's going to be more expensive at town.
Well, yeah, in the real world, it's going to be $300, but at B&H, it's $30. So now I got to figure out the alignment. It's so heavy. it's so just, it's very, very manly
It's
camera.
about the same weight.
It's much heavier than what I'm used to. And it's pretty nifty.
It feels very comfortable to me.
Yeah? You happy? My concern is it might be too heavy for the Steadicam.
Oh.
Our little Merlin may have met its match. I don't know, it handles the JVCs with ease. But
Well,
that's definitely got to be the upper end of what our Steadicam's capable of.
I wouldn't mount the extra stuff on it like you have been with the JVC, the Steadicam.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to hang like mic rigs and all that on there. So, well, that's our initial first look at it. Now I'm going to go and charge the battery.
Wait very impatiently.
And wait very impatiently. And yeah, so we've got all kinds of toys on here. We'll be going through this camera. We'll be talking about it a lot. And you'll get to see a series of videos on this, just like our series of videos on the HM100Us. So yeah, it'll be fun. I'm not going to worry about training people on this because there's already other people have done it. And this is probably sponsored by Sony and they paid the money to do it. And we're not that good. But
And it's a very popular camera series right
yeah.
now.
And I'm still more interested in teaching people about the HM100U, which I think has more potential because this is a much more expensive camera and this is a much higher end camera. I want to talk about the HM100U, which is something that it's what we got started with. It's what real people can afford. And yeah, so.
This is definitely a step up from that.
Yeah, this is for people that are doing video more as like for a living. This is, yeah. But it's pretty awesome. I'm digging it. So there's your first look at the Sony NX Cam. What's the model? It's written on here somewhere and I can't find it.
Here.
It is the HXR-NX5U. So what do you think?
I like it.
Yeah?
Yes.
I like it. I'm going to turn it on.
You have a Sony. I'm so proud.
A little boy is growing up! Oh, man. So yeah, write in with any questions if there's any things on here that you want to know. If you have any questions on Sony still cameras, she can answer them because
Sure.
that's your life. And yeah, that's the video. So you guys have fun. I'm Chris.
I'm Moose.
You're Moose. That's Corey.
And this needs a name.
It needs a name. I know, well, it's called Exmore. That's
No, it
Exmore.
needs a name.
Needs a name. I haven't named any. This is green.
It is green.
There's our cameras here. Instead of camera 1, camera 2, we have red and blue. It's from the Seuss thing. So we figured our third camera should be green because now we've got red, blue, and green. So this will be green, and it's got the G on it. So,
It's set for green.
but this is green. That is this camera's name. Do you guys have fun? I'm Chris. That's Moose. We'll see you next time here at the Geek Group, where we'll be playing with more fun science and technology. That's it.
This video was made possible by a grant from the Future Girl Foundation.
This video was made possible by thousands of private donations from members and viewers like you. Please visit thegeekgroup.org for more information on how you can donate and become a part of our dreams of Avalon.